Mile 4 of the Laurel Highlands hiking trail, northbound. This video will cover everything between mile 4 and 5. Begins with an ascent, still going up. Feels good to have a little bit of a breeze. It's getting cooler as I go up. And I'll do well in the heat. 90 degrees is horrible, but yeah, if it stays in the 70s or cooler, I'm pretty good. Today it's 70, upper 60s. The colder the better, generally. I mean, you got some different kinds of moss. Once you get through the first 8 miles, I'd say that might be a little over 10% of the distance, maybe 11 or 12%, but I think it's easily 20% of the effort of going through this trail. Stay still going up. There are some sections further ahead that might be more technical, with more rocks to kind of jump around. So I guess I could slow you down a bit, but not so many hills. Still see the Ciccone River. I do apologize for certain noises you might hear in the video, but yeah, we're trail runners. I can do. That's what's going to happen. Actually, it looks like someone came in here with some kind of lawnmower and cut the grass. So I have no idea how that happened. It seems like an impossible task, but whoever did that, thank you. I wouldn't care if it was little grass. Maybe it's nice to not have ticks or anything jumping on you. I'm not sure if there's going to be any black raspberries, but at least where I live, a little bit northwest, they tend to come out about this time of the year. Yeah, middle to end of June. I guess early June still, so yeah, it could be a bit, but they might be out a little. They tend to come out earlier further south and later further north. If you're lucky too, sometimes you can find red raspberries, and then later in the year, like August, late July, there's blackberries, and I don't know what time of the year, but sometimes you can find thimbleberries if you're in the right area. Know where to look, usually by some kind of limestone that's dripping water. Then the last thing that comes out, wild fruit, that I really like is in the fall, like September, sometimes late August. You can get your pears, your apples, your Concord grapes that'll just grow wild. I think that's what they are. They're just wild purple grapes, and they're just incredible. Kind of gummy, but once you've had those kind of grapes, the kind you get at the store don't taste like anything but sugar water. They're the kind I think they use for wine. Oh, a little tree come down here. That will happen. I think I've probably been in the woods or outdoors 3 different times now in my life where I've actually been around a tree as it's fallen, just randomly. One time I think I was hiking and I heard one come down somewhere, Another time I was riding my bike on the Ciccone Canal Trail near Washington, D.C., and one come down just behind me where I would have been if I was a few seconds slower, came right across the trail. If anyone's a video guru and they think that these videos are in any way not as good as they could be because they're 15 frames per second, I'm doing that so I can get the highest possible quality, let me know, and then some of the other miles I do later on I could do them at 2.7K and actually get 30 frames per second. Not really sure if that would make a difference, but I'd like to know if you guys have any concerns or think it could be better. Glimpse of sky over Chestnut Ridge. These mountains, Laurel and Chestnut Ridge, and many of the mountains in Pennsylvania that occur further east into the Allegheny Mountains in a region called the Valley and Ridge, are kind of unique in that they are long mountain ridges that run 50, 70, sometimes more than that, miles. And they kind of curve around to form the spine of the Appalachian Mountains in Pennsylvania. Other areas I know you'll see kind of like pointed peaks, or even in different parts of Pennsylvania there's just kind of more short little hills and bumps and hummocks. But these are just big prominent mountains. You can see them if you're flying over Pennsylvania. It looks like somebody just took their fingers and kind of like ran them through some green paint or something. Very green and very high. Some of the highest mountains in the state, approaching 3,000 feet. Of course, our highest mountain is Mount Davis, which I have not been to, and I have to go there sometime, but that's about 3,213 feet or so, and it's pretty close to Laurel Mountain. It might be in Somerset County. These mountains are some of the oldest mountains, considerably older than the Rocky Mountains, which is why they have a rounded appearance, and they're just they've been around so long that there was actually ancestral Rocky Mountains that existed before the Rocky Mountains that we see today. They were as high as the Andes, and they completely eroded away, and more mountains appeared, and these mountains were still here. I don't know that the Appalachian Mountains were ever as big as the Andes or as the present-day Rocky Mountains, but at one point they were probably quite a bit bigger and more rocky. And 400 million years, they've kind of rounded off a bit. So here we are at mile 5. I'll try to keep you up to date on the regional geology when I can, because I know a little about that.